is mainly why he wanted a new building.
Needed the parking lot and the posts and stuff to drift around, so we got that.
Alrighty guys, part 2 is underway. It's mid-January. I haven't been able to be back here in quite a while, but a ton of stuff has been happening. Most, if not all, of the demolition has been done and dusted. They're framing up the new walls right now, so a lot of measuring and lasering in. And I'm just gonna tell you guys one thing, there is a ton of glass going up inside that building. So I'm talking 10-foot glass walls, glass corners, glass door handles and everything. So it's gonna look pretty bright in there, pretty top notch. Things are happening fast, super stoked. Let's get back to it.
Now that we got everything torn out, we got framers back in here getting going here. In this front area here, part of the showroom, we're gonna have their conference room here. Starting basically right off this mullion here and going around. We got conference room, we got another office there. So everything that's exposed to the showroom is all seamless glass. So it's gonna be 10-foot high glass. We're gonna be matching the tops of these up here. So all the glass throughout everywhere is gonna be at 10-foot height to match that. So it'll be all seamless glass, no mullions. We'll have our door into the conference room, boardroom here, and then we have another office going here and more glass. So we're continuing that 10-foot of glass all the way back here. Our office there, we've got a big office here where they can split people in there. This is Neil's mullet office here. Mullet office, business up front, party in the back. We're gonna put some really nice millwork in here where you can have a bar area, sit down area. He's gonna have some nice chairs, couches here where you can lounge out, hang out with some clients, staff, whatever they want at the end of the day, come have a drink, chill out. This was 4 really tiny offices, so now we're changing those up to 2 big offices. Same thing, 10 feet of glass. We're gonna make this look really cool in here. It will used to be a rat's maze back here, but now we're opening everything up and we're gonna frame wall off of there, wall to here, and then we're gonna have office, 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 office. And then with here, we'll have a central gathering touchdown area here where they can have a bar, island, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You betcha, a lot of dumps of garbage went into this one. Once the framers, once they mark their walls out back here, then we're gonna get, continuing on the theme of the flooring here now too, is it's all getting ground down for now, and more than likely we're doing tile. We're still making some final decisions on flooring, but we're gonna get them to come in and grind where our walls are, so that later on, they don't have to do all this handwork close to the walls and stuff. They can just come in and grind the floors pretty effortlessly, so. Back into the main shop here. So we finally got some colors finalized here, so we can move ahead with that. This is gonna be Dieselr's Dyno base. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this door, we're gonna shorten it by 2 feet, we're gonna make it 4 feet wider, so it's gonna be a 16-foot wide door. Then it's an in-ground dyno, so the trench that we have to put in here is about 40 inches wide, 16 feet wide, and about 3 feet deep. So initially we're gonna build a room for it, specifically just for the dyno, but we're gonna keep it open for now and see how that works for them. And in the future, if they decide they need it closed in, then that's what we will do. So that'll be the next thing out, jacking some concrete out of here and pouring some new stuff in and setting some dyno equipment in. So there'll be some black smoke rolling in here, I can guarantee you that.
Oh, look at that. See how far the screw went in. Yeah.
No. Wait.
I was trained in nursing.
Oh, you're right. Just a quick yank and done.
You just ran out of milk, didn't you?
Seen an old buggered up truck on a trailer come by and I was like, what are these guys up to? Oh, you pulled the motor and tranny out, eh?
Yeah, wiring harness and everything else. We thought you guys might want to put a diesel in this.
Oh, okay. So
you see how those dents happen?
Yeah.
Because I picked it up with a front end loader and carried it across the yard like that.
Okay.
No joking this time.
I think Jesse locked us out.
I got it. My key's in the truck. You having a hard time with that key?
A few inches later.
All right, guys, so we're in the showroom here. We're well on our way with getting all the offices framed up. We're doing a lot of electrical now, HVAC stuff, and then the drywall's going up. So right now you can kind of see the framing of all the offices. We got a couple offices over here. We got our big boardroom over here. You can see the framing comes down a couple feet. From there down, we're gonna be putting in glass, so it's gonna have a really nice, open, modern feeling to it. This is another office over here, kind of wrap around with glass. Kind of want that open concept feeling in here. So I think we're really gonna be able to get that with all the glass and everything up front, kind of going through it to the back and the other offices. So it's starting to shape up back here. This was kind of like one massive office and a couple really small offices, and it really felt like a closet back here with it just being really dark. So we're opening it all up, we're putting more offices in, and then we're gonna put a lot of glass in here to just get a lot of natural light back here. So kind of gonna be our bullpen. So we're gonna kind of put like a massive island in here with a bunch of chairs and shit, kind of a coffee bar in this corner, so everyone can kind of hang out outside their offices, have lunch together, that kind of thing. They'll kind of all be working together in one area. So this area is more like your accounting, the media guys, the tech support, all the guys are kind of behind the scenes of the business that aren't really gonna be a part of the showroom area. Kind of gonna be tucked back here, and then we have some offices up front that are gonna be part sales, vehicle sales, all that kind of stuff, kind of more focused on the front side of the business that you guys see. So the boys are working on the HVAC over here. We're tearing out some concrete over here to open it up a little bit more, get a more open up feeling. I'm super tall, so we need to make the door taller for me because my office is gonna be back there.
Put the shirt on.
You're getting sexy around here.
You want me to blind the camera?
This is supposed to be family friendly. So we're moving some plumbing over here. We're gonna make the bathroom a little bit smaller. It was taking up a bunch of space here. So the idea here for my office is kind of a working area, but then also have kind of a hangout out mini conference room area in that corner. So bathroom's getting made a little smaller, but we'll have a kind of area to hang out and have a couple drinks, that sort of thing. So this area over here is gonna be our service counter area. So we're gonna build a bit of an office here for the service manager, kind of have a private like meeting room with the customers if we're kind of talking about bigger builds and that sort of thing. And then off of that, we're gonna have a parts counter that comes out around up to this post here. And we're gonna try to make it kind of the center of attention of the showroom. So we're gonna make it really fancy. We're working with C West right now out of Calgary that's designing our counters and all that. It's gonna be pretty crazy. It's gonna be really awesome. I'm really excited to see what they're designing right now. So that's what's happening here. That's gonna be kind of our parts counter as far as like quick wholesale parts, guys coming in and just pick up parts. And then over here, we're gonna kind of have our service counter, or whatever you wanna call it. So hopefully it still leaves us with enough room to kind of showcase parts, trucks, apparel, and that sort of thing in the rest of the showroom. So we're gonna utilize all this space here for that. And then over here, we've probably already talked about this, but this is gonna be our customer lounge. So kind of give you guys a private area to hang out while we have a lot of people coming from out of town. They're kind of just hanging out, waiting for the truck to get done. So we'll make a really cool spot over here for you guys to kind of just chill out, get some couches and stuff, TV in there, and that sort of thing. The lighting in here is done. The problem with the Hexagon, especially with black walls and black ceilings, is it doesn't get you enough light. And it makes your lighting, like the thing with it is, the way it shines off of the vehicles, I feel like as far as like doing tint and 3M and detail and that kind of thing, it doesn't give you the lighting you need to have like a really clear focus light on the vehicle. It kind of gives you a pattern off the vehicle. It kind of shines off the clear coat, if you know what I mean. This is what we ended up doing in here, but we're gonna do the Hexagon lights in the showroom. So we're gonna have like strip lights, and then in between the strip lights, we're gonna have Hexagon just to kind of give it a cool feel. But in here, this is pretty well done in here. Like we painted the walls, the ceiling, we're gonna epoxy the floor, and then we're gonna put in new doors in here, and that's kind of it's pretty well what we're doing in here. I like the black on black, but I decided not to do black on black in the shop because it is gonna make it feel a lot darker. In here, it's fine because we have all this glass, and it's not as deep. But when you start going into the back of the shop, it's such a deep space that I feel like it'd be too dark in there. So we're still doing a dark gray, but it'll still be on the darker side, but not black. And then over here, this has got to get remodeled. This is kind of going to be our storage area. So we're going to have like stock of like tint and detailing products and whatever the guys need in there. We're just going to be kind of stock in here. So, but I was also kind of thinking about ripping this room out to kind of gain us some space here, but it's like, I mean, we've already ripped so many walls out of this place. We're left with one open building at this point, so we got to leave some walls up. But I'm kind of planning on using this area here to kind of showcase customers' trucks. So like when we finish a build and you're coming in to pick it up, this is where we're planning on parking it. So this is going to be kind of a showcase area. You walk in, your truck's here, you can check it out. We'll have some champagne and shit. As for us blue.
Mural right there, New York skyline.
So I actually want to drywall this whole wall because everything else is going to be drywall and glass, and it's going to look super clean. I feel like this brick is gonna kind of throw it off, so we're gonna drywall this whole thing, and then we're gonna put a full glass door in over there, so when you're hanging out in the showroom, you can kind of see what's going on in the shop, but it still separates the shop from the showroom to keep things clean and not noisy, I guess. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up where we're at here right now. It's starting to shape up a bit with the framing coming up, and now a lot of electrical and HVAC stuff being done. It's not really something that you really see any progress on, but it's the bulk of the work. Once that's done, we're gonna start seeing like big changes every day, which is gonna be cool. Actually, the other thing that on Friday, we're gonna go out to the flooring showroom and we're gonna start picking out tiles. I think we're gonna tile the whole floor in here because I haven't heard you guys having too much success long-term with epoxy. So if there's a lot of like trucks getting moved in and out and a lot of steering happening on the floor and a lot of walking traffic, I think the epoxy is gonna start wearing down. It's a lot harder to patch in the future if that happens. So I think we're gonna tile all this. So we're actually working with a guy that did the floor for Rolls-Royce and Lamborghini in Calgary. So he's the one that's kind of helping us out with the flooring part of things. So we're gonna go check out some options on the flooring, but we're thinking about going with like big 48-inch tile. So lots of options there. That's kind of a tough one because there's so many different options to choose from. So we're gonna figure that out on Friday. And it'll be cool to see the flooring kind of get done because right now it just looks so patchy. So once they start grinding this all down and laying floor down, I think that's gonna be, it's gonna make a big difference. Like right now it just looks so patched up. So we got Derochie working on the paint. We got Live Electric doing a bunch of electrical in the shop already. We got all the new lights up. They're all taped up right now because we don't want to get them dusted with paint. It's made it a lot brighter in here and we're gonna need all the light we can get because we're going with black ceiling, dark gray walls. It's gonna get really dark in here. So the lighting will go a long ways, but then we're also going full glass doors. They're gonna be tinted, but they're gonna bring in a lot more light than we currently have. So hopefully that's enough where the techs don't get pissed off at me because how dark it is in here. I really like the dark colors. And so we want it to look good, but we also want it to be functional. So we'll see how that goes. And then I guess for the hoist, they're kind of mixed match. Like there's some lighter red ones, dark red ones. We have gray ones that we're bringing here. There's a blue hoist here. And so with the gray walls and the black ceilings, I feel like we need to paint the hoist. I haven't fully decided on a color yet, but I figured black hoist with like red arms would look cool. So we'll probably end up painting the hoist. There's a couple in here that are a little older that I'm gonna pull out and replace with our newer ones, but for the most part, it's pretty well set up how we need it. There's a little bit of a reconfiguration that I want to do over here just because it kind of gets tight coming in here. So I'm going to pull the hoist off the walls and then I'm going to angle them and move them a little further this way. So when you pull in, you can just kind of pull in on an angle. Make it a little easier getting in this area. Over here, we're fine. And then once the paint's done and all the other work's done in here, we're going to come in here and we're going to grind the floors down and put like a clear coat on it so it's gonna have a nice clean polished look. I want it to look like you can eat off the floor in here. Now I know that's pretty hard to do with a mechanic shop, but that's what we're after, so a good clean look. So as you can see here, we're testing different colors of gray and black because we were undecided if we wanted to go black. I think black walls, black ceiling, like black on black is the look, but again, functionality wise, it probably wasn't a very smart move. We ended up going with gray to kind of just get it a little bit lighter in here and have a bit of an offset color off the black. So with our black doors, our black trim, black ceiling, figured a gray would be nice. So we decided on the color you see on this wall over here. They've just started painting now. And we felt like that color is gonna hide a lot of the dust and fingerprints and all that kind of stuff a little better. So I spent probably a week of going back and forth trying to decide on a color. With the help of everyone on the team, we decided on that. But I think the black ceiling is definitely a good choice because it just cleans it up so nicely. Like it just takes all the flaws out of it. The white, I feel like collects a lot of dust and we work with diesel trucks. So I mean, we're gonna always have soot and stuff going on around here. So I think that's gonna kind of hide all the blemishes and shit the best. Yeah, I can't wait for this whole area to be painted and really just get that feel. Because right now, I mean, you walk in here and it's like, man, this place is a disaster. That's all part of it. It's got to get worse before it gets better, I guess. So this is kind of the decided spot for the dyno. The thing with this is, like, I'm getting a dyno for Mustang that's currently on order. It's like their 1100, so it's super wide. It's a dual roller. You can dyno a F450 with forces on it, dual wheel, and still have a couple inches to spare. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this door wider. So we're gonna knock the wall out a couple feet. We're basically adding 4 foot wider door, so it's gonna come up to here. And then that way we can kind of get away from that bay for guys to kind of be pulling into those hoists. So we're gonna kind of move it further this way. The dyno goes on the floor over here and then gives us enough space to like work around the truck. I'm gonna set up my toolboxes over here with all my diagnostic stuff. So this will be kind of our dyno bay, tuning bay, diagnostic, that sort of thing. Which at first I was kind of thinking about building a room kind of separate from the rest of the shop. But we have really good ventilation in here for the exhaust. Our makeup air unit in here is set up to work for the whole shop. So we can pump in fresh air and get rid of exhaust to kind of just keep the dyno in an open space like this. And when you start building walls and stuff, now you're boxing area off the shop. It's just a lot easier to have it kind of be part of the shop. So when we're not dynoing, we can use this bay and it's a part of everything else as far as using it as diagnostics or tech or any of that kind of stuff. So we use our dyno quite a bit, but there's also a lot of times we're not using it. So if you're making a separate room for it, I feel like we're just kind of giving up shop space that doesn't need to be wasted. So we're gonna keep it open for now, but if it seems to get a pain in the ass where it gets loud in here and stuff like that, we'll probably end up building a room in the future. So for now, we're just gonna put it on the floor and use this, which the nice thing too is like this shop has good makeup air system in it. We've got these exhaust pipes going out of the floor, which end up going through that 24-inch pipe in that corner and getting pumped out of the building. So what we're gonna do is we got a lot going down over here that we're gonna cap off, and we're gonna extend this to a 6-inch riser just to get more flow. And so when you have your truck on the dyno here, we're actually gonna move this there, and you can hook your tailpipe straight up to it, flip the switch, and get all the exhaust out of the building, and then get fresh exhaust or fresh air back into the building. So it should work, I hope. We're trying to figure out all the science behind this, but I think we're on top of it. You can actually see it's on right now. That's got a lot of suction. So I think it's right now it's set on a timer for every 15 minutes just because they're painting in here. So just get the dust out of here. But I've kind of been debating putting up a mezzanine in this corner because at first I was thinking about putting pallet racking in that corner so we can put engine blocks and transmissions and that sort of shit. Kind of just when you're pulling it out of a truck and you're waiting on machine shops and shit, you have somewhere to put it so it's not laying around the shop. But then I found this ad on Facebook with this super cool mezzanine that is a kind of a free floating. So I'm thinking about maybe putting that in that corner to gain a little more space in here. We're trying to figure out what's gonna work best before we're in here. I feel like it'd be best to move in here, start working out of it and see what actually works and flows, but kind of just rolling with the punches right now and trying to figure that out as we go. So yeah, it's pretty well it for the shop right now. All right, so the boys from Evans have already started pulling our pillars down, and then it got really cold. It's like -20 or something, or it was. So these pillars are both coming down, and then what we're doing, I'm gonna kind of give you a little sneak peek here. Basically what we're doing is we're making one big pillar out of the 2 pillars here. So this post right here to this post is from here to here. So we're gonna pull out these existing pillars and then do one big pillar with like a floating Dieselr sign underneath it. So I think that's gonna kind of clean it up. This has kind of got that Ford Lincoln look that every other dealership has. So we're trying to get rid of that and kind of get a fresh new look going on here. And then you can see all the capping's been pulled off of the windows, all the framing and stuff. So we pulled all the caps off and they're all getting powder coated right now, or painted, I guess. It was stainless or that brush look before. We're going full black. And then same with all the doors. We're doing full black framing with tinted black glass. So it's kind of black with the whole front of the building, which I think is gonna look super sharp. That's where we're at right now. It's kind of cold out here, so we haven't really done much outside. I mean, they started with this last week when it was a little warmer out. Now we're just kind of waiting for some better weather to kind of get all the paint done on the outside, get the new pillar built up, and get some signage and doors and the rest of it. So we're still hoping to hit the deadline for May 1st, but there's still a lot of work to do, so we'll see how that goes.